We've been married more than 20 years through joy, loss, raising 4 kids, facing trauma, and building a life that hasn't always been easy, but has always been real. And we're still here, still laughing, still choosing each other.
This is the Love Suite, a place for honest conversations about marriage, family, intimacy, and healing. Not the highlight reel, but the lived in love. The kind you fight for, forgive for, and grow inside of.
We're not just partners in life, we're co coaches. We walk with couples who want to reconnect, repair, and remember what love can be. For us, that work begins with diwa, the Filipino word for soul, essence, the truest part of you that never disappears. And it extends into kapwa, shared humanity, the reminder that none of us are alone in this work of love.
We don't come with perfection, we come with presence, with the kind of truth that makes you feel seen, even in the hard parts. This is the Love Suite with Steve and Grace. Welcome in.
All right. So let's be real. You and I, we fight. Sometimes it's not pretty.
Like boxing or wrestling? Let's get ready to rumble. Why not? Yeah, I think when you're in a relationship, I think if something is completely perfect for 20 years, you're probably in a dream because that's
Yeah.
not realistic.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
So, what does it mean to fight fair? And how do you hit the reset button when the fight goes too far?
Well, I mean, I did not know the answers to those questions when we got together because I don't think I fought fair. I think I took a lot of jabs, jabbing at you.
Jabbing.
Uh-huh. I mean, I can remember one of oh, I want to say it was our first fight after we got married. Maybe it was about a week after we got married, maybe. And
Week of,
I think so.
I think. I don't know.
I can't remember. It was a long time ago. But either way, we had just tied the knot and I was pregnant with our little baby girl. And you wanted to go out because your boys wanted to take you out to celebrate that you got married. But I just think they did it in reverse. They didn't give you a bachelor party.
Well, let me
Oh,
set the scene here
okay.
properly. We're supposed to get married in April.
No, October.
I thought it was April.
No, because I was in nursing school. And so we were going to wait until I graduated.
Wait, where are you sure about that?
Yes.
What? Well, we're
Okay,
off so
hold on.
fast.
What? I can't
So
even remember.
we were supposed, and then we decided between your morning sickness and my father getting sick, we really got to the nitty gritty and said, let's just move everything up and just do a justice of the peace and just get married.
Well, no, we did just as a piece too because you wanted to move in and my mother was like, "Hell no. Not unless you're married. He can't come live here." So that was also why we decided to tie the knot. You were like, so you see we're having a little argument right now because mommy retired and you were saying, "Well, I might as well come move and live there so I can help with the bills." Because it doesn't make sense for you to be in your own apartment. And mommy said, well, you can't live here unless you're married. She's not having that. So we said, well, we have to get our certificate anyway, our marriage certificate anyway. So let's do that. That's how I remember it.
Oh, wedding was supposed to be in April. It's becoming more clear to me now.
In
End of April.
April, when
End
I'm
of
like
April.
5, 6 months pregnant, no.
That's why you had the big dress.
Babe, I was only like 4 or 5 months pregnant. I bought a dress for like when I was 8 months pregnant.
Hmm.
Anyway, whatever. Hold on.
All right. So that's the setup. The wedding got moved up. So we just decided to just do a quick little thing and just get the inevitable over with. Let's make it official.
Inevitable.
Yeah, it was inevitable. We were definitely getting married. So now continue.
Yeah. So, you know, getting used to being married to you, you're living with, we're living together. It's new. And so your boys decided to take you out and took you out, you know, after we got married. So it should have been like just dinner, maybe drinks. And you didn't think you were going to be out late. And the next thing I know, you come in. I mean, I was up all night, all pregnant, and you didn't come in till like, I don't even know. I just know it was almost sun coming up, if not already up.
Was it that? No,
Yes,
it was.
it was late.
I thought it was like 3 or
No,
something.
no. I think you wish it was 3, but it was not. It was not. So anyway, you were wasted, like pretty bad. It was pretty bad. And I was so angry. I cannot even begin to tell you how mad I was for the fact that you didn't even reach out to me to tell me. I think I did speak to you though when you were drunk because you went to a strip club.
Um, Evidently,
Yeah,
I did.
you did. And I almost want to say it was more than one, but whatever.
Oh, definitely not.
So anyway, I was just so mad. I was just so mad, because we had Caleb at home, whatever. And the next day we were supposed to go out. So anyway, I was so pissed off. You were so sick to your stomach. You had a headache. You were nauseous. And I was like, no, buddy, you ain't sleeping in. You made a commitment to me. Get dressed. Get dressed. We're going to the mall. And so we went to Green Acres Mall. And I don't even remember why we went there, but mommy and I were like, yeah, we're gonna go eat at Red Lobster. And you were like, I can't. I mean, you were sitting in the back of the car. I was so angry. You were sitting at the back of the car and you were like heeled over, like laying down practically. And you were like, oh, I'm not coming in. I'm not coming in. And so I left you in the car and I was so mad. We were walking into the restaurant, my mom and I, and my mom was cracking up. You know how she cracks up and her shoulders are just going up and down, and she's just hilarious. And it was my mother's laughter that calmed me down.
Nice.
But I was so livid with you. I was like, how dare he effing do this shit to me? He just committed himself to me and then let me down immediately. So anyway, I just remember saying, why did I even marry you in the first place? Like maybe I shouldn't have even married you. Like what the F was I thinking?
Yeah. I mean, and from my drunken point of view, I remember I'm like, yep, I'm going to do everything you said. Like, let's go out, have some drinks, celebrate, and that'll be that. And I get to the main meeting point, and there's only like half the people there. And this person's on the way, and this person's on the way. So now everybody starts pre gaming. And we pre game for like 2 hours. And I was hungry because we were supposed to go eat. So drank for like 2 hours. I barely remember the restaurant.
Oh, so you was already hammered.
Yeah, because everybody, oh, congratulations, and wanted to do a shot with me.
Mm.
I would say I probably did about 8 to 10 shots. So I'm like, oh, okay. I did them in such repetition that probably within an hour or so, we didn't wind up leaving for probably like 2 hours before everybody got there. I barely remember the restaurant. I do vaguely remember a strip club, and I just remember immediately like someone tried buying me a drink, and I was like, oh. I'm going to throw up. And I went outside and eventually I was put into a car where I basically passed out and spent however
Mm.
many hours
Well, that's
after
not
that.
how I was imagining you. So,
I figured and I woke up and I'm just like everything hurts. What the hell?
yeah.
And I remember the smoke smell being on me. So in
Mm.
my drunken stupor, I'm like, I'll get the smoke off me and we'll be great. I'm glad to be home to my new wife again. And then she's just furious. And I'm like,
I think that
what?
was the same night that when you got home, you went straight to the bathroom and
Yeah,
took a shower.
yeah,
And I
because
was like, why the F is he taking a shower? What was he doing that he has to take a shower and wash off of him? I was like, oh my God, what did I do? Why did I marry this guy? He's cheating on me.
we can look back now and laugh
Yeah.
because that absolutely was not the case. I'm like, I think I was in the strip club maybe 5, 10 minutes. And like a drink came over and I smelled it. I think I was bringing it to my mouth and I smelled it and I was like, uh-oh. I was like, here comes all the food I just ate. And I
But
ran outside and these guys didn't give an F.
of course not.
Someone put me in a car, went back inside and said, nope, we're here, bro.
Well, but you see how those things can get out of hand. And it took me a long time to get past that,
Yeah.
So anyway, I felt like a fool, a pregnant crying fool.
Well, for me, hmm, let's think. I mean, one of my worst fights is you were women know how to push buttons. This just in, breaking news. And you were reiterating another point and I was like, "Yes, I get it." And you were continuing to explain it. And I was like, "I get it. I'm sorry." And you were just like, "Well, I'm not done being mad yet, so let me just pick other things to just throw at him basically." And you were like, "You did this. You did." And I'm like, "What?" She's just picking things from weeks ago, months ago, years ago, things that are assumed to be happened, and you're just going and poking and it has nothing to do with anything, and you're just lobbing it in there. And, it was just the worst because then I eventually just snapped and screamed at the top of my lungs. I remember throwing a remote control, not at you, but it was close and I was just way over you. And,
I remember it shocking me.
yeah, you were like,
Mhm.
and now I feel bad. Clearly, to me, you were pushing my buttons, but now I feel bad because I lost control. So, like, there's just no winners in that, as you would see, right?
Yeah, no. No, but I was doing the thing that um that a lot of people do, or but at least for myself that I used to do. It's like I got to run through this list. These are all the things that are it's I'm so traumatized that I am getting this trigger. This fight has just touched and reminded me of all of the other
Yeah.
things, and I'm going to bring them all up because
You bring in your research.
I'm saying, "Hey, you did all of this stuff."
And what it
Yeah.
comes down to is you want to be right. The
Mm,
ego, right?
yeah, yeah. But not, I mean, I guess you don't want to be right, but you're justifying like why you're so upset.
All right. So, I mean, who's more stubborn in fights?
It's you.
Me? What? I don't know. We're both pretty stubborn.
I know. I know. It's not a competition on who's more stubborn. I mean,
Yeah, but
but yeah.
we're both pretty stubborn, I'd say. But um, yeah, and you just wish we could take it all back, and you're like, "What? We just did all this for what?"
I
I
know.
mean, how do we repair that?
I, I sometimes it's really hard to, right? Because you're like in the middle of the fight and you are not thinking about repairing. You are just trying to drive the message home that that person messed up royally.
No, you want to win.
Yeah, yeah. You just, that's what you're focused on. So it's tough to say, um, you know, how do I fix this? Um, and you say a lot of things you don't mean,
No,
so I mean, fighting fair doesn't mean you never argue. So, I mean, it means you argue with rules that protect the relationship. So it's almost like putting rules down before you even get to the fighting. You don't wait for the fighting to start in order to say, well, oh, how should we handle this, right?
right? I
Yeah.
mean, it's almost like you can't bring up old ammunition. Like, hey, remember in 2009,
Yeah.
and you're like, well, it's either resolved or it's not. Like, which is it? Because I thought we resolved this a while ago. You can't keep using it.
I am reacting to this because I used to always bring up XM all the time. Like all the time. Your XM.
It was like she had a PowerPoint ready, and she's like, "Oh yeah,
I
explain this."
Yeah, I was just so
Got this.
traumatized by that, you know, by all those different situations and things we had to go through that it wounded me. So it took a while for me to heal from it, but bringing it up over and over again didn't help me.
Yeah,
And I think also one thing that I always did was always bring up the big D. I would always be like, I would always be like, we should just divorce. Like, why are we even together?
yeah.
And that is an awful thing to do, to always talk about that we should just end this relationship. It's not even worth fighting for.
Right. We've just had 2 good weeks together, but this argument, we're divorced,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and it's almost still like you're trying to still one up.
Yeah.
I want to shut the other person down so I can stand over his body or whatever and win the
I
argument,
I
win the
think,
fight.
well, because a lot of people are divorcing nowadays. I don't know what the exact statistics are as of today,
It's
but
like,
it's like a 50-50.
yeah,
And I feel like it's easier to give up and divorce.
yeah.
It is harder to stay and fight for what you have with this person that you chose them. You
And,
chose them.
and what's crazy is it's actually just simply the better option. You've got someone who knows you already. You already know each other. They know what makes you happy. I mean, you don't have to go through that whole process all over
Mm-hmm.
again. And
Yeah.
and it's not just young couples either. It's older people. I mean, I know plenty of people who've been married as long as we have, and I just got a divorce, it's 20 years, but really? Took you 20 years to figure out this wasn't the person? Or
Mm.
what we're trying to do with this podcast is, and our coaching is just help you realize that let's get this stuff out your closet and taken care of early so it doesn't build up for 20 years.
Right, right. And so we have this tool that we like to use. It's called the conflict reset tool. So it is a cycle, it has 3 parts to it. So the first part is you're going to pause. You feel it. You feel this stress. You're going to lose it. You're upset. You're full of emotion, but you're going to pause.
So during that, is it best to just walk away? I mean, I know that's what I like to do.
You could, but you could take a breath. You have to be the judge. You know yourself best in that particular situation. So it could be enough to just take a breath at where you are,
Yeah.
right? Before anything is even said. So you'll make that decision. So you're going to pause. And then you're going to name what's happening. So the second phase is name it. Say what's happening. You could say something like, we're stuck in a loop right now. We are getting heated right now. And then you're going to reset. So you're going to use a ritual. So it could be a hug. It could be a hand touch, a code word. So I'm going to give you an example of when we used it this weekend. I have been pretty irritable this weekend. I do have diabetes, and when my sugar goes up too high, I become very irritable. And I had a bout of bad eating because we did go out of town, and so it raised my sugar up for a while, and it takes some work to get it down. So that's not my normal anymore to be that high. So this chemical situation or hormonal situation inside of me causes me to be irritable. And I took a pause because I could tell I was being irritable. Steve did not have to tell me that I was being irritable. I noticed it in myself. And so I had to take a pause. And then I turned to him and I said, I'm really irritable.
Yeah. I don't
I'm
want.
irritable.
What do you want me to do?
And he just sat there but I didn't keep going, but I definitely named it. So I'm at least naming it and letting him know this is how I'm feeling. I may not know why. I may not know why, but I'm
Yeah.
naming it.
Mm.
So later on, and we're irritable, we're trying to work and do some stuff for, our coaching and podcast.
Well, for a guy,
Yeah.
or in this case, just simply your other partner, it helps because now you've named it and it's something, you're irritable. Okay. So it's not me.
Right.
I don't, it's not, oh, she's not liking me right now. What did I do? Did I do anything wrong?
Mm.
Or is she just getting frustrated because she's looking across and seeing that it's me across the table from her? Or
No, I
so
love
now
you.
instead of being paranoid, it moves the other partner into assistance, basically.
Mm-hmm. Right. So it's just making everyone aware. Like, hey, this is happening. And you can say it's not you. Or if it is him, you could say, it is you. And and I need a moment. But I'm letting you know that this is happening, right? So it kind of like stops what's
Yeah.
happening, right? It's like, oh, okay, we're all aware of it. So in our situation, you said, okay, I'm gonna go take a shower, whatever, cut my hair. And you said, come see, I cut my hair. I said, okay. So this is like maybe half an hour has gone by. So I get up and I go to the bathroom and I'm like, wow, you look so handsome, you know? And he's like, yeah. And so we're like kind of flirting now. And then we dance because you had music playing and you were like, oh, you love this song. I think it was Sammy Johnson.
I don't know.
Yeah. And so we're like dancing and then we start flirting and fooling around and being silly, right?
Mhm.
And I left the bathroom and it was a good note. You went and took a shower. And then later on you came back and I was irritable again. But then I said again, I'm irritable. I
Mm.
don't know why. But it's something that we did. Like we still did that ritual. We were able to connect, because it's not the argument or the thing that's causing this problem or this situation is not the problem, right?
Right.
It's it escalating without repairing it is the problem.
Right. Right. I mean, so in this situation, it was the separation because what usually happens in an argument is, say, you'll be irritable. Just in this situation, you'll be irritable. That gets me on edge, and we both start escalating, just like a staircase, and the other person
Hmm.
comes over the top, and then the other person goes over the top. So to prevent that from happening, she named it, got me off any kind of paranoia or anything
Right.
I might have had, and I just let her be. I mean, sometimes there's things I can do for it, sometimes there's not. I mean, I got my own head right first in the bathroom,
Yeah.
and then I told you, hey, come here, and
Right.
And like you said, you were still irritable afterwards. I tried sometime that there's days where that'll work,
Right. But
but
there was a reset.
yes.
Like we
Yeah.
were able you you took your pause, I named what it was, and then we reset. We actually were able to laugh and joke around.
All right.
Even though the irritability didn't go away, we were we were repairing, we were stopping it, the escalation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of uh escalating, I was now in repair mode, trying to help you with what was going on. And this isn't just about guys helping women. It's the same the other way around. I mean, sometimes guys may fully put their heart and soul into a sports team, and then that team loses and it's just crushing, and it can make you irritable, and now you're in a bad mood. Why? Because your team lost. And it sounds stupid right now, but at the moment, man,
Well, because you're invested in that.
yeah,
You're
absolutely. You couldn't talk to me after the Yankees lost to the Red Sox four straight. Like I was, yeah, it was hide the weapons time. But um, you just want to. I mean, for me,
hmm
I like to walk away, reset. You know, do my tactical breathing. It's something that I learned in law enforcement. It's basically breathe in for 2 to 4 seconds, hold it for 2 to 4 seconds, and then breathe out for 2 to 4 seconds.
Yes, the
And
oxygen is your
yeah,
friend.
each time, if when you get to that, it's like a shampoo, rinse and repeat until it's clean. And it helps so much me personally. And it's not just tactical. It's just breathing.
Yeah, yeah. That breathing helps me a lot too. It
Mm-hmm.
really does. I mean, and then how do we repair? I mean, my way of repairing is, like you said, the time spending time away from each other, and I get my thoughts and my emotions in order. And usually I will just blatantly approach you and be like, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. And I try to explain like what was going on in my head, and I try to see how that affected you. Like that's really what I'm trying to see is like, hey, how did this affect you? How upset are you? What did you feel? And how can I stop this from happening again? Whatever it was that caused conflict,
Yeah.
right?
And your partner. It doesn't matter if you've been married a year, 20 years. You know
hmm
your partner. All right. This is someone you love, someone you live with, carefully watch. I mean, you know what's going on with them, and you know how to assist, you know.
hmm What's
So,
your repair move?
um, I like, I don't use it that much, but I like a code word. And sometimes when you're escalating and we're both going up that stair of just escalating and coming over the top, and you need something to kind of knock that OODA loop out,
hmm
something to knock that trend out. And if you just say something just off the wall, you're arguing about I don't know, text messages or something, and
hmm
all of a sudden you just go, "Well, Kermit the Frog." Even a very heated person will stop and go, what the hell does Kermit the Frog have to do with anything? And what you've did is kind of broken the rhythm of the argument
Yeah,
and
yeah.
broken the rhythm of the fight, and hopefully that can. And then right after that, I like to just separate, because Kermit the Frog is a good thing to walk off with.
hmm
Kermit the Frog, mic drop.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, you got to reset. And then when I separate, I also had to teach myself not to continue the argument with myself in my own
Mm.
head. Oh, she wants to say this. Well, I mean, I'll counter with this. And I'm like, she's not in the room anymore. Like, calm down. It's all right. Let the argument go. Let's work on ourselves calming down. And then we'll talk about this like rational adults.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and do something else because you don't want to have that fight going on even in the background of your head. You just want to, whether it's turning on a TV or Sudoku or just,
Ooh, you just reminded. So we had this one fight. I want to say maybe earlier this year or it was last year. And oh, it was so intense that I can't even remember what we were arguing about. But it was so intense where I was like, that's it. That's it. You know, you're not going to change, whatever, whatever. And we went and tended to the family. Like, so we separated in a sense, right? We're still in the same house, but I started cleaning out the freezer, the little white freezer that we have. Like cleaning out, like de-icing it, taking everything out, scrubbing it down. And so we were trying to, it just had all the ice formulated on it. And doing all that, you eventually came over and started helping. And and the children were helping as well. And so it was a big event. And by the end of it, you came over to me and you were like, oh no, I think I leaned over and kissed you. And you were like, I don't want to be apart. I was like, me neither. Let's stay together
yeah, no,
forever.
it may seem like a good idea. I could get away from me. Never again. Uh-oh. Hang on. Thankfulness. Keep talking.
Um, but yeah, so so time apart could mean all sorts of things. It doesn't have to mean that someone is leaving the house, although that could be one of the things that you do. Or it could be that you do something together or apart in the house. So maybe you go and you do some work, or you go read a book, or sometimes it could be, let me go take a nap, so it could be all sorts of things. But the key, though,
I like a good nap.
is that when you do separate, that you come back. You come back to discuss and connect again. Because when you don't, then that will create a more of a disconnection and more of a separation. And now you're going to start the rhythm of drifting apart. And Steve and I, we had that going on for years, drifting apart.
Yeah.
It would be, we did part of the reset tool. So it would be, you walked away, took your time, and I was there still learning that walking away was good, but then you wouldn't come back. you I was just left there
Like, man, the
alone.
Sudoku puzzle's awesome. Screw that.
But it was pretty bad. It was really bad, and it caused more hurt
Yeah.
than there already was.
Yeah.
So, you'd walk away and not come back, and then of course the the discussion or the situation, the dilemma would continue. There
Yeah.
was no end to it. We would have it again maybe 2 weeks later.
Yeah. It's just like you paused it and it
Mm-hmm.
continues to escalate like in the background. Like
Right.
unless you close that window completely, close the app completely, it's going to keep sucking energy from you and it just keeps on. You may not want to have that discussion, but it needs to happen. This
Right.
is when you got married, this is what you committed to. It's not, this is the for better or worse. Yeah. Sometimes you have to say, yeah, I messed up. I wasn't thinking and I'm wrong and I still love you. It doesn't have to be, how do I fix this? Some problems are easier than others to quote unquote fix, but how do we as a couple move on together from this?
Mm-hmm. And this particular tool you can use for small conflicts or even just big ones,
Yeah.
but the resolution time varies.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. And just try and stay away from we've had so many bad arguments at 2 a.m., Sleep deprivation, oddly enough, plays a key role, you know?
Yeah, yeah. We talked about that in the last episode about, are you in the right state of mind to have this conversation right now? Sometimes your mind, not sometimes, always your mind needs to rest so they can function at full capacity and where you can be rational.
I just thought of if we could play a clip during this, I would play an anchor man where they're all yelling and then Steve Carell comes over and he goes, loud noises.
Oh my god, that
Yeah.
scene used to crack me up. He had the best character in that movie. I love it so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, also take time to talk about your rules of engagement, right? So I think one of the best rules that we had was no yelling in front of the kids.
Yes.
I mean, our eldest Caleb, he said to us, he said to me one day, I love it because you guys like never fight. And I was like, what? He was under the impression that we didn't fight because we never did it in front of them.
No.
So that helps your kids have security. And it helps you also like control yourself. You can control the world is not going to end if you don't solve it right here and now.
No. I also had to, I would leave where all the kids were to go to the closet to put my boxing robe on, prep for the fight.
God.
My hoodie going on and be like, yeah, she's in trouble now. Put some Vegas money on me. Gonna win this
Yeah, I was
fight. You'll
always
see.
the winner here. Me? No, I'm just kidding. No, the thing is like, it's not about who wins, right? If we resolve the conflict, the dilemma, then we both win.
Yeah.
It's not about who's right.
So I mean, so
Yeah.
like to summarize for your fight conflict kind of reset, what you want to do, one person has to step up and take that breath and stop. You've got to stop the momentum from building. You
Mm-hmm.
got to stop it, and then you pause and you separate, name what's going on, and then
You do
when you're ready to
everything.
reset, you can re-engage because you'll find you're still talking about the same things, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
completely different conversation because now it comes from a place of love.
And the reset tool can also be used to say, okay, we're resetting right now, so we're going to start at a different point. But that doesn't mean that when you reset that you come back and have a whole discussion. It doesn't have to be there at that moment. It's just saying I'm resetting right now so this doesn't escalate, and then we'll set time aside to talk about it and further.
Especially if it's 2 a.m.
Right. Right. And so we've set some rules, and we've also said like no talk. Steve said to me, "Can you just stop bringing up divorce?" And I was like he said it very passionately, and I was like, "Wow, that has a huge impact on him when I see it like that."
Right. Because it left me in a place of confusion. Like we'd make up and you'd be like, oh my God, I love you so much. And I'm like, well, which one is real and which one is kind of fake, you know? Are you being fake now and you still hate me and want to divorce me, but you don't really have a good enough reason? Or do you love me and the divorce was just because you were mad? Like,
Yeah,
which one is it?
and it's a terrible thing to like to say, um, because you're saying it out of anger or out of hurt.
Yeah.
Um, and it's just filled with emotion that hasn't really been worked through, like a raw emotion,
Yeah.
like a reaction kind of thing.
Yeah. We're not, we're not like these doctors and everything that you see. Oh, you just have to do this. And
Yeah.
it's a little like we have been using our own little resets for a while, and it doesn't stop us from fighting. It just changes how the fight plays out.
Right, exactly. So, like, for me, the naming part of the conflict reset tool is really something that I use a lot. So I'll put language to my hurt so it doesn't get buried, right? And it doesn't explode later.
Right.
So, like, for example, when you raised your voice, this is what I'll say. When you raised your voice, I felt unsafe and it impacted me by shutting me down. So I'm naming it and I'm letting him know what happens when he does this, how it made me feel, and what it made me do. Okay. So I'm not blaming him or wanting him to shut down. It slows down the conflict. I'm sharing how it impacts me and it lowers defensiveness, you know? Um, and then the other part that I like to do is it's the mini truth telling. I say one thing that I've been holding back without interruption. So I actually did this yesterday, just out of nowhere, right? It's just a mini truth telling. It's not me out of nowhere just coming out and saying, "Hey, I don't like when you do that," and just gonna have a very deep conversation about it. This is a mini truth telling, and it's something I've been holding back. And he was sitting next to me. We were working, and he's on his phone, and he's scrolling, doing something on it. And
I remember.
I said, you know, I've been so traumatized by your cell phone, because he used to play loads of games. Like it took up a lot of his time, and that was part of uh, his avoidance drifting situation. And he doesn't really do it as much anymore. So when he's on his phone, I'm still traumatized by it.
She
So
she always thinks I'm on my games now.
yeah, I do.
It just so happened that when she said that to me, I hit the last button and the living room light turned on. And I said, "Yeah,
I said, "Ooh,"
this is what I'm doing."
I said, "What happened?" And he's like, you turned on the
Yeah.
light
I was
without
like, I
getting up.
did not want to get up. Click, the light is on. And I was like, see, it's not always games,
Right. But what I had said to him was, I've been so traumatized by the cell phone thing that when you're on it, I always think that you're playing your games. And when I think that, I feel like I'm unimportant. And so it's just a little truth telling. I'm not blaming him for anything. I'm not accusing him that he's playing his games. I'm just telling him how that makes me feel. And we didn't even discuss it. The lights turned on, and and then we just moved forward.
Yeah. I heard her and she knows, because I was paying attention and I know. And it's something I've been working at, but she works at too. I mean,
You
I love working things out with you.
No, it's so much better than how it used to be.
Communication is fun.
Well, what are some of the tools that you like to use?
I like my crazy code word. And I think my new word is gonna be ube.
Filipino inspired ube.
For those who don't know, what is ube?
Well, ube is a Filipino purple yam, like a purple potato. It's a root vegetable, and we like to use it as in desserts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
Good.
if you have so America has taken ube
Thankfully.
and and has really, I mean, I think it's exploded in the United States. I mean, it's been a part of our culture for a very long time. I mean, forever, I want to guess. I mean, it's something that comes from the Philippines, but um, it is delicious. But
It,
it is, Filipino. And
it goes great in bread. You make ube bread or ice cream, ube
so, yeah.
cheesecake.
So if you haven't had ube, I would suggest going and tasting some, depending on where you are.
It is Steve
So,
approved.
what I like about it is that it is not super sweet, but it has a very distinct flavor and it's so delicious.
Mm, so
Hopefully you'll like it too. But that's your code word now?
yeah.
Ube.
Ube.
Oh, I'm sorry. He likes to say it
Ube.
a little tough, a little rough.
Yeah. Got to put my
Ube.
own flair on it. Not what we're learning. Put flair on everything. Either that or
What do we do when you before you move on? Like, so when you say the code word,
you know why I'm saying it. So the other person knows it's and it even if you know, it still stops you dead in your tracks because you just be like, I'm not on my phone. That's it. Oh, bad.
ooh, bae.
And now it's yeah, I don't know if I can slam on the brakes that much to be like, hey, ooh, bad. But yeah, you just mix it in, and the other I mean, everybody, both of you know it's
Mhm.
a
And you got to respect that the code
reassessment.
word was said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you at least know to just stop for the second and let's see what else is
Mhm.
going on. Another thing is, um, for all you people with a mailbox, either on your door or right outside your front door or even on your curb, I'm so jealous. I know when I need to really separate from everything, I can take a walk to the mailbox because round trip, that's 700 steps I can add to my walker because it is way down the block. And
Mhm.
it makes it seem, oh, just well, get picking up the mail, kids. Don't worry about anything. It's so far away. It's built up for days. That's why I went out there. No, it's to kind of get the blood, the energy going into something else other than the tension and rage that was just
Mhm.
happening. So
You also get that fresh air.
yeah,
You know, you're walking by the trees, the grass, the flowers, and the universe gives you those gifts, reminds you of the
yeah,
life around you. It
mm,
kind of
yes, yes.
grounds you. Mm.
So yeah, I don't want to um come back until it's over. I can have it be the 700 steps, or I can make it 1,200 steps and take a different way home, or whatever it takes to release all the tension and then start thinking normally again.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, I've seen you do that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, fighting is going to happen in relationships. And I think that when people try to portray that their relationship is perfect, in the sense of like when you look up the word perfect in the dictionary, what that means, right?
Mm.
It's very unrealistic. Don't believe it. Don't believe the hype because fighting is going to happen, arguing is going to happen, misunderstandings are going to happen. And that is okay. That is perfectly normal. You have two people trying to build their lives together, especially when you're in a long term relationship. And so I just want people to remember that. I think when sometimes we have this image that in order for the love to be right, it's got to be as perfect as can be. But part of being in a relationship, part of the highlights of having a partner who's your best friend there, traveling the journey of life with you, is that with these arguments or these escalated uh, discussions, disagreements, whatever you want to call it, you grow from that. Your relationship grows from that, and it's a very beautiful thing. So I'm not trying to say that I promote fighting, but I do promote healthy arguing,
Yeah.
healthy arguing.
No.
Because when
Absolutely.
you are able to come back from that, your marriage is not the same. It might take some hard work to heal whatever happened, but you build off of that and your marriage or your relationship becomes richer.
Yeah. And I mean, when we don't repair all the damage that the argument has done or the mistrust that led to the argument, um, it's just a spiral. I mean, it continues to escalate in the silence in your head, and it'll keep building. And I mean, what really comes from it is now I feel like I'm failing because
Mm.
when you get married, we say all those pretty vows at the beginning, but when those vows become real and you're not living up to them,
Yeah,
yeah, you feel like you're failing.
you're right. And especially in when you've reached a certain point, like you pass those honeymoon phase and now you're really getting to know the person. Now, this is when it really gets real.
Yeah.
Where do you really want to be here?
Yeah.
And so, and you're learning each other. And if you guys can just learn how to get through that, I'm so grateful that I never followed through with my thoughts of dissolving our relationship.
Right.
I would never trade you for the world, ever.
I would never trade you, baby. I choose you every day.
Yeah. So, I mean, but it was tough. I mean, we would have arguments and I cried a lot
Yeah.
alone, crying myself to sleep. Those days have been gone for a while. I'm sure I have some ahead of me. I'm sure I do. But it when we fight unfairly on those times, I would feel unsafe. And I know it wasn't just in the fight where I felt unsafe. Then it made me feel unsafe throughout the entire day, like during things that were unrelated, you know. But in my heart, I knew that we could get past this, that the man that I chose in there, I know that I wouldn't just marry some chump.
Yeah.
So I trusted my judgment. I trusted my fate, my destiny, and what was made for me. And I knew this because I dreamt about you, baby. I dreamt about you
Well,
years before.
I'm no fool, I know it's I remember that old Chris Rock joke where he said, nobody wanted you till your wife came and picked you up off the street and
Yeah.
combed your hair and dusted you off and nobody wanted you. Now you get a call every Tuesday, and I know that I am my best version because of you and because you're in my life. So I know anytime I do wrong, I panic and think that that's going to end. And, I don't want it to. I mean, fights are not about winning, they're about each person protecting the love that
Mhm.
is you.
Yes, it is. That's what it's about. Protecting the love. So that fight is not against each other. It
Yeah,
it's you together against the issue.
right. It's I love you so much. I didn't think you'd hurt me, and now you injured that love, so I got to protect it by arguing with you and
Mm.
trying to gain it back, like self defense.
Which is a natural way to feel, right?
Absolutely.
And you have to find your way back to, yeah, am I feeling defensive? Yes, I'm human. This natural way to feel, but I got to fight for this relationship. Like,
Yeah.
are we going to do this together? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in this for the better life together, not to fail each other and separate.
Mm-hmm.
Start all over. I'm glad you're in my life, baby.
Oh, Papa, I love you. I love you. Oh my gosh. So, I mean, so fighting fair is less about avoiding conflict and more about remembering you're on the same team, right?
So this week, pick one reset tool. Try it in your next disagreement, big or small. Each of you share your personal reset plan for the week.
Yeah.
Um,
Tell us in your DMs about what your reset tool is going to be.
yeah, I mean, let us know. We'd love to hear. We might even share it on our next show.
Yeah. Share your funniest code word if you guys come up with one. We'd love to hear it.
I know I
Um,
would.
well, my reset plan for the week is going to be naming my conflict. I'm going to make sure I do that because when I used that yesterday, it worked. Really worked. Worked
Yeah.
well. And because you responded
And
to it.
for me, you need some ube.
I hope I don't make you say that word too often.
Ube.
And so remember, it's not about never fighting. It's about knowing how to repair, how to reset, and how to protect your love even in the middle of the mess.
Yeah. That's the work, you know? And that's what keeps us choosing each other over and over.
Yeah, and speaking of choosing each other, our next episode next week, it's going to be about intimacy beyond the bedroom. Because
Oh, like staircase or
what?
I don't know.
That was a terrible joke.
That's pretty good.
Well,
If you thought that was a great joke.
well, the next episode is going to be about intimacy beyond the bedroom. Because real intimacy, it's not just about sex. It's about the way you look at each other in the kitchen, the way you laugh in the car, the way you the way you reach for each other, even in those ordinary moments. You know, like
Yeah. I mean, intimacy shows up in the small stuff, you
Yeah.
know, and that's what, like, where the fire lives. Like, it's the connection you guys have with each other. So,
I know. Well, we'll catch you next time in the Love Suite.
love sweet.